Hey guys, it's Track, and it's no secret that I have friends and fans alike over in Singapore. Singapore has a wonderful Nerfing community, and one of them sent me this. This is a knockoff, either Chinese or some other company version of what appears to be the Raven. Now, that was pretty difficult to snap into place, but you can see here that a lot of the markings from the original Raven shell have been changed, so it's a completely original shell, but it's definitely inspired by the Raven. It's still a bullpup design. It still has a pseudo in-strike attachment thing up here. It still has a rail attachment panel on one side but not the other. The flywheel mechanism juts out. It's got a battery pack back here. The stock is very different, which I'm concerned about. Still, ironically, has some of the same warning markers, but instead of saying Raven, it now says Speed. So I guess this is the Speed Blaster, and down here the clip no longer has any real indicators. It just says Shooter. So pulling that out, same style of magazine release here in the back. So thumb in, pull that out. You can see that I've loaded it with Nerf darts. It came with some very cheap, very tacky darts that I had no interest in using. So I've replaced it with Nerf darts so that we can get a pretty accurate indicator. There's a little bit of hang time here from when the clip goes in to when you actually get it to engage and pop back out. Let me see if I can show you guys that. So going in and then clicks into place. There we go. I've got some brand new Duracell batteries to install. I think that it's going to take 4 AA's. Again, since all of the instructions were in Chinese, I had no way of knowing this. I just guessed. Since that's what the Raven takes, I assumed that this would work A-OK. Prongs here that hold the battery in place are a little bit thinner than what I was hoping. They're thinner than what they are in Nerf guns, I guess. And then this is an interesting way of doing the battery door. It's very different from how the Raven works, as well as the Strife and all other manner of flywheel blasters. Can hear it revving up. It is revving up on this trigger. The trigger is a much tougher pull, or at least the rev up trigger is a much stronger pull than a regular in-strike flywheel blaster. So revving it up, get a little bit of hum going there. It doesn't seem like it has any locks, which is actually really cool. It's revving without a clip, it's revving without the jam door down. No locks is a distinctive improvement over the original in that sense. I think that we're using a very similar flywheel cage, and I can confirm looking into here, and there you guys go, that these are 130 size motors, although I do not know what kind of 130 size motors they are. So again, we'll put this home, click it into place. Shouldering the blaster is remarkably uncomfortable. This tube attachment in the back here is nowhere near as comfortable as the curved Raven stock, which I personally like a lot. So no more talking about it, let's fire. So ironically, the Streamline is the only dart that I fired that seems to have broken 40 feet. The remainder of them were getting very sub-elite ranges, especially with regular alkaline batteries, but sub-elite performance out of this, nowhere near as nice as in-strike elite blasters. A stock Strife performs better than this, and I think that has to do with the way that the flywheels are placed in the cage, how tight they're gripping the darts, how well it actuates, etc., etc. So the trigger pull is very clicky, I guess. It's clearly got a position that it wants to be in and a position that it doesn't want to be in, which means that the spring is either well matched or overmatched for it, and you can kind of see that there. It's not a very smooth trigger. There is one lock in that you can't pull the trigger without this being depressed, which is good. It prevents jams. I want to test one more thing before kind of signing off on this knockoff Raven, which is, will it take in-strike magazines? And the answer seems to be no. It does not want to take my standard Nerf mag, particularly because this lip on the front is jutting out and it doesn't have the space to accept that. I might be able to, there we go, I can drive it home even though it doesn't want to be in there. We're at a slight downward angle and we're sitting much higher in the blaster than we should be. I wonder if it'll fire these. And that's a big no-go. Our pusher is hitting the dart underneath the one that's chambered. So non-compatible with in-strike clips which is a big downside. So while I do sincerely appreciate the viewer sending me this so that I could get a good review of it out, I would not recommend the Speed Blaster for anyone who does not have regular access to, where'd I put it? The shooter clips, which are a little bit different and do not have that front panel and sit a little bit lower. So I doubt that these will be compatible with a Raven or anything like that. All in all, the new styling of this shell is pretty cool, but the fact that it will not work with standard N-Strike magazines makes me much less interested in it. If it's something that you are interested in, I will be selling it on my eBay. I like to get things out to the American and English-speaking audience whenever I can, so I will open it up for that. There will be a link in the description box below, like always, to my eBay auction page. I suppose it's not really an eBay store because I start everything at 99 cents. I just think that that's fair. As always, guys, thanks for watching.